Hi, everybody. Good morning, good day, good evening. Today we're meeting with Alina Fatakova. She's founder and a matchmaker with a big heart from Beaumonde Matchmaking. So let's go ahead and ask our Alina first question. Who do you connect and for what purpose?
I connect single professionals in New York City. So they're looking for love or long-term relationship or just trying to figure out their dating situation. And that's how I connect.
How did you get started in your industry? Did you face any challenges? What's the professional story of Beaumonde and yours as well?
Sure. How I started Beaumonde matchmaking. That's a great story. I'm just a person that loves to network. I have a huge network. People know me. People talk to me, and I used to connect people for business. I used to just try to introduce as many people as possible to each other, and they would either make friendship, business connections, or sometimes, fall in love. And that's how I got the idea of like, okay, that's what I probably should do. But one of the other things is that at the time I was doing sales and for a corporation, and I kind of was so into it that I struggled in my own personal life. So one of the motivations for me to get my company started was to actually go on dates myself and be around singles so that I match myself up. So that was for me like one of the main ways um, to find somebody and also to explore this topic because for me it's always interesting. I'm like a scientist. I'm open to learn about relationships because whether we like it or not, it's a human need. And I absolutely love psychology. I absolutely love anything to do with human behavior and anything that has to do with communication. So,
You sound like a perfect matchmaker. Psychology, and I find it more common than other things. They all good psychologists. They know how humans operate, what they want, desire, and many matchmakers are good coaches too, because they need to shape their clients, prepare them, mentor them before they go out in the open and start going on a dates. And you actually walked the walk and hands-on experience. So after walking, getting personal insight, you decided to give hands to others. So God bless you for this. Do you enjoy what you do currently? Do you find it, is it making you happy?
absolutely. I sometimes text somebody like, "Oh, I'm doing speed dating events, right, in New York City." So it's one of the ways to attract singles. And the other day I was texting somebody because I needed ladies to balance out. And she told me, "Oh, I met somebody. Like she went to my event once. And at that event, she met somebody and she's exploring that connection." So to me, to get those texts or to get thank yous or to get any kind of feedback from my clients in matchmaking, because that's where the more matches happen because it's more personal and more catered. It's just like I feel amazing. I feel so impactful in a way. So I believe that it's a great way to connect people because a lot of people are frustrated with dating right now. They're not into dating apps. They're just trying to meet more traditionally, it's either in person or through a matchmaker or just doing on their own, right? And I feel so amazing to get certain results, even if it's a small result. So,
There is never a
Talking
small
about
resort.
problem, yeah,
exactly.
the mission that you have is just wonderful, and your business experience actually that you have also is very important, I think, for matchmaking industry because matchmaking is a business, and as much as you love introducing and matching people, you have to also know all the business basics, marketing, sales, operations, and from our experience working with matchmakers for so many years, it is a like one of the top skills and top priorities for them is to get the business run, to make it successful, so yeah, that's priceless experience, especially in sales and customer relations.
Absolutely.
But I want to follow up on your couple of very important points that you made, the problems that you're solving. I would like to just maybe dive deeper into this with my next questions. Can you just explain a little more what problems you're solving and why you think those problems exist in today's world?
The problem I'm solving is connecting people and consulting them on how to keep those relationships, right? Keep those relationships going because unfortunately or fortunately, people that come to me, they have either communication problems sometimes or they have certain self-image that they are shy. And for me, it's a great way to um, start to get them out of their head and get like create a certain image about them because I'm as a person who's not like a third party, I can see their strength. I can see what they can do to improve. And it's a journey, right? It's a journey. It's a small steps journey. So I'm there to support them. I'm there to make them think about who are they looking for, experience it in life. So I'm basically there to hold them accountable for their dating life because if they want to meet somebody, they have to put in a little bit of work. Even though I'm finding all those matches, I'm there to actually help them to foster those connections, right? Um, and that's very important. So it's almost like self improvement, but also at the same time, I connect people.
But the self improvement and preparing people for connections, do you find that's one of the main problems or one of the main goals you have?
Absolutely, because we can match people, and but at the same time, we have to understand that people, everybody's a grown up, right? They are adults. So I always say it to my clients, like I'm gonna connect you, but at the same time, I'm here to consult you. But it's two grown up adult people that have to make this connection happen or grow, and I'm here to help you, but I cannot guarantee anything, right?
Right.
So I'm here to help you explore that connection. I'm here to support you. I'm here to possibly, give you certain skills, but I'm not
I can help you learn how to fish, but I will not fish for you, right?
right,
Type of thing.
right.
This
you
is the
have
right
to you have to
approach.
you have to make the connection, and you have to keep the connection, right?
Exactly, exactly.
I get it totally, and that's important for sure. A component. I mean, people have to be prepared, and they have to be coachable. I think they have to be matchable. Maybe that's a word, matchable. Like if you match them, if it's a numbers game, I guess you're gonna be going against all odds, right? If they're not prepared, if they don't have
Right.
the tools to deal with this. Totally, totally, it's a people's business, right?
Yes.
Can you tell us? This is my favorite point. Can you tell us maybe your favorite introduction or your favorite success story? No need to mention any names if you don't want, but just like a real human story
Sure.
with a client of yours.
Okay, that might be the reason I might tell you about this is because it's also like a cultural client story. So the two clients they had cultural background. So they're both Jewish and they wanted to find somebody of their own culture. And I set them up on a blind date. And he said to me, like, oh, I'm looking for somebody who is, let's say, I think his only criteria was that she would be into sports or things like that. And she was not matching on his, let's say, all of his criteria, but I knew that she was a wonderful person. So I said to him and her, you just have to trust me. I'm going to set you up on a blind date, and you have to go and enjoy and have fun. So, yeah, so that was a great way for them to meet because they didn't have any expectations. And then later on, I found out that maybe like a couple of years ago, they actually matched on a app, but they never pursued that connection because sometimes what happens is we are trying, on dating apps, but then we are kind of overwhelmed and then it never
Yeah.
materializes. So, yeah, and then they were dating. So that was really, really, really like an experiment in a way, but also like I had to ask permission from both sides to for them to trust my vision, and see how it goes.
So, a quick follow-up question: what makes you a good matchmaker then, in this case?
Um, I try to, of course, there are people that they want certain type of person, but also like I'm trying to get the clients that are for me as a match, that how it worked for me to find my boyfriend, right? In a way that we are sometimes looking at short-term criteria, but we don't look at the long-term criteria that will make this match successful. So I'm here to promote genuine connections, genuine romantic connections that are based on people's values, right? On being genuine, authentic to themselves, whatever that version is. Because I don't even know that version, right? So sometimes I start working with my clients and it's like there's this metaphor like you're peeling them like an onion. There's one layer, there's another layer, and then you're like, and that's when the magic happens because I get to know them and I know what they're looking for, and obviously they're thinking what they're looking for, and I'm not there to change that, but I'm there to keep their kind of mind open, right? So I have a lot of stories where, for instance, even yesterday, I had a client, he's very visual, and he was looking for somebody, let's say, visually, right? But then I said to him, how about you try to meet this girl because she seemed interested in you, right? And maybe visually she's not the exact match he's looking for, but he's listening to me. He's like, yes, I would love to meet her. So that's what I think the magic is. Sometimes I don't know what's going to happen. I'm not here to predict the future, but I'm here to test a lot of different ways for them to match, different people to match, so that they can actually see what's going to work.
Thank you. That's very insightful, and I learned something new today for myself. For example, the value that I think the values will eventually play the major role in the long term. Like, you can have a great first date. You can even have a great first year, but the values, I think, is what keeps the relationship, one of the main components, at least in my experience, that keeps the relationship going for a long, long time. Don't we all want that one love?
Yeah.
And that probably it comes from values, I think, overall.
And I bet it
Thank you
feels
for sharing.
great. So when you go to bed or wake up, I bet you have a smile because you forged a relationship, you
Yeah.
built this happily ever after for a couple that were, I wouldn't say doomed, but lost. And they found you and you helped them, you guided them, and this is a great feeling.
Sometimes it's lost. Sometimes it's like completely
Disappointed.
disillusioned. Like, disappointed. There's so many emotions I've been through myself, so I know what I'm talking about.
Ah, we all.
I just can say that in terms of relationship, if you get the right one, like you said, Alina, correctly, using your magic, matchmaking magic, people will be in a relationship, and it's gonna be always work. Don't take it wrong. It's gonna be work always. You know,
Yeah.
the magic is in doing the work together,
Yes.
and then it becomes endless, never ever ever ending journey of discovery and fun and surprises and challenges and lifelong story.
I would say it's like a dance. It's always like a wonderful, beautiful dance. Sometimes a little bit aggressive, sometimes too close and intimate, sometimes wonderful and festive, sometimes sad and slow. It's beautiful. The
Right.
life is. Let's
Exactly.
take a step back to the past, travel to the past, back to the past, back to the future, back to the past. How did your matchmaking setup look when you just got started? Did you use maybe Google Sheets or a pen with paper? Which software pieces did you use together, like Frankenstein, to make this whole work at the start?
Right. Yeah, it was very basic. It was pen and paper sometimes. And then I also like as a kind of way to keep record because I at one point started I had clients, but also at one point I started doing the events. That's where I met my boyfriend. And that Eventbrite, that's the platform, right? That's so I was keeping track of some of my obviously a portion of my clients. Just when you're building a community, you know a lot of people, you know them, but also like I totally knew it was like very archaic way of doing things, like Excel spreadsheets, Eventbrite, I don't know, orders, and that was just brutal.
Let's imagine for a moment that SmartMatchApp didn't exist. When the multiverse, Marvel's multiverse, alternative timeline. This is such a fascinating story, that the Marvel and everything. So imagine we're in the multiverse where SmartMatchApp doesn't exist. How many
Right.
pieces of technology and which pieces of technology you think you would be using now to help you achieve this matchmaking path?
Uh, that's a great question. Um, a lot of different pieces, and probably a lot of things would be lost in the because it's just a human factor, and it would be like pieces. I still have like my notes. This is my notes, right? This is all like my notes that I did interview with the clients. I still have this notebook, and I have at least two, three, four of these notebooks somewhere. And you know what? Sometimes it's still like for me to transition to SmartMatch, which I do more and more often now. It's a challenge because I know that it's better to write it there because if my assistant has to log in and look into something that I'm not able to tell him, that's fine. Like I have to keep myself accountable that I'm not the only person that works in the company, and we're all here to make an impact and not to ask my clients questions over and over, same questions again from me, from my assistant. So that's just the reality.
Thank you for sharing this. And if you don't mind, I'm going to jump a little bit into SmartMatch because I hope that you can share some insights with our audience, just like yourself when you found our channel. How did you first find about SmartMatch, and how is it helping you now in your matchmaking process on a
Um,
day-to-day basis?
sure. So the first time it was a word of mouth, actually. So it was this wonderful matchmaker. She's going to be at the Matchmaker Alliance too. Her name is Tiffany. They're based in Texas, and they were startup as well. Like they're a startup as well, technically. So they've been in the industry for a while, and they just kind of mentioned this company. At the time I was just I was just trying to connect with the people in the industry because I never worked as a matchmaker for any other company. And she was kind enough to volunteer some insights and information. And that's how I heard the first time. I remember writing it down just the way I do it all the time in my notebook. And that's how I heard about it. Yeah.
Word of mouth is one of our number one discovery paths, you know, how people find us actually. Thank you for sharing this. And we have to say thank you to Tiffany.
Okay. I,
Thank
I'm
you.
I'm thankful to her and a couple other matchmakers that actually talk to me, because when you're in any industry, right, you need to talk to competitors, just to um, because like the better we share information. I know like you can't share all the information, but in such an industry, in any industry, it's just great to collaborate. Actually, like
If you're able to collaborate, and that's why you're also a member of Matchmaker Alliance, a wonderful
there's
organization.
enough business for everybody. I'm telling you.
If you can do that, it's wonderful. It's a
Yeah,
huge advantage, and you know, to look at your competition or to have them look at you as collaborators in one big industry, you know.
yeah,
But there's also some protectionism going on, and that's okay, I guess,
yeah.
because you know, people want to protect their you know, clients and their business models, even
Absolutely,
in a small
absolutely,
industry like matchmaking. Well, not so small actually, but niche industry like matchmaking. There is a lot of different business models, believe it or not. Matchmakers do business in many different ways, and they have their own know-hows.
absolutely.
They want to protect it.
You have to stand
um,
out. Definitely.
how is SmartMatchUp helping you? It's interesting. Again, it's for sharing, so people, if they run into this video, so they can understand how it's helping a wonderful matchmaker like yourself, like day to day, like a little bit of like the nuances on a day to day. How does your matchmaking day look like with SmartMatch? You know.
Sure. So the way it helps me is to first of all keep a record on my clients, right? As like a CRM, any CRM would help, but SmartMatch is exactly for matchmaking. I would say is better because it also helps with the feature of suggested matching, and then there's a lot of criteria that you can put in for your client, and also what they're looking for. And then the clients can also access their profiles, and if they want to change any pictures and things like that. And then you can put notes, you can create Zoom links. And so there's a lot more that actually I have to learn in the SmartMatch app myself. It's a journey, right? So also like one of the features that is great is that you can share your client profile in a certain way with the privacy, right? Detail, like there's also privacy included with another matchmaker if you want to collaborate on the match. If let's say they have a client and you have a database member, or you have a client that could be a great match, and we can explore that match together by sending links to each other. But also like there's um, you have to sign confidentiality and things like that. It's very sensitive, but at the same time, um, SmartMatch allows you to do that. So, for instance, when my clients go and to fill in their profile, they have to they have to sign a disclosure that it's all confidential. You're not allowed to, share these details, which is very important.
I'm
It's a
super
very
happy.
important piece.
We
Yeah.
play a little part in your great success, and it's great. It feels great, let me tell you.
Yes,
Privacy, guys, privacy and confidentiality and security is huge in this industry. Huge. It's just you. Again, it's for the one of the reasons of matchmaking. Sometimes your clients want to remain private. Maybe more than sometimes. Maybe always. They want to remain private because, and maybe one of the reasons they don't want to go to matchmaking websites because they want to have a private introduction,
absolutely.
right?
Yes.
How was
So,
your experience with SmartMatchApp team?
I
Just
wanted to
curious.
ask. How was your experience with SmartMatch team? Did you find it useful? Were we helpful for you? Did we make your journey more exciting.
Sure. I think you guys are very supportive. So actually, an hour before I was talking to your colleague, Milan, and um, anytime I have a question, he's very fast in getting back. I don't know how big your team is, but that's just like incredible. And also, like when I subscribed to your YouTube channel, you guys reached out, which is very proactive. I love that. you
You
know?
got a message from Peter, our marketing.
Yes, exactly. I love that. That's very genuine and very proactive, which is great.
I mean, we
Personalized.
live in the world of we live in this wonderful world that has so many opportunities to connect, to collaborate. So let's use it. Let's use it.
Absolutely. And from my perspective, I have to say, um, like smaller companies like us, I had some people calling me from all over US because somebody told them about me. I don't even know who told them about
That's
me.
right.
I don't even know like how they experienced working with me or like how they heard about me. And always trying to find it out from marketing perspective. But I have like literally people calling me from different parts of US because they heard great things, and it's just always so amazing. I feel like the smaller companies, we have to make an impact, and of course we can't control whether all of the clients experience, is going to be 100% amazing, because it's always like depends on your how you did it and also how the client experienced it. But the more the better, right? Like the more impact we make, the better and more authentic connections we're going to create, and that's how it's like accumulating success.
You
It's
do have a
spreading.
great vision.
It's let's put
It's
it in one
treasure.
sentence. Spreading the love. It spreads
Right,
itself, you
right.
know. All you have to do is just put some energy and then it just goes.
Yeah. And
And then
not
people
from the
start.
perspective of, it's from perspective of abundance, right? So that's
Yeah.
like not from perspective of lack, right? Because when you trying to collaborate with other matchmakers, some people are a little closed, which is fine, and and it's fine. But like I also have a network of matchmakers that are very open. They're very helpful. Like one of them, there was I was asking her about a feature in SmartMatch, and she was like, "Oh yes, we did a video call, and she showed me something that I had to do." And yeah, because, obviously I could ask you, but also if something happens that I can potentially ask somebody as well that it is experienced. It's also,
In the industry, you know.
yes, in the industry.
Community support.
Matchmaker is this from Matchmaker, your connection from Matchmakers Alliance?
Actually, not. I'm not sure if she's in the alliance, but her friend is there, and he saw
Okay.
me on Instagram, and he's going to be in the conference. So you see, this is
You see how it goes? It's
and social
crazy.
media also helps. Like I'm not gonna
Yeah.
lie, social media also helps. Yeah.
Yeah. Amazing.
Everybody
Amazing.
connected. Everything's related.
Yes,
What a
and
life.
so
Uh, let's talk about your vision, future, strategy. How do you see and where do you see Beaumonde in 5, 10 years? What's the ultimate goal? What's the plan?
sure. So I primarily work with, naturally, I attract Eastern European culture because I'm from Russia, and I work with ladies that are from that background. Not because that's my preference, but it's just like naturally attracting. Um, and so the same, like I attract Russian speaking guys, and also, so that's I feel like that's my niche, but also like it's growing, right? So I would want to concentrate on Eastern European backgrounds just because it's close to me and maybe we understand each other better, but also people that would want to create relationship with that background and culture. And I feel like curiosity towards that part of the world is growing in a way like women are more desirable. I mean, that's just my impression. I don't know if that's 100%, but it's just the curiosity is growing. So I feel like that's definitely one start to grow it um, worldwide in the way like I will be connecting people who would want to date that culture. And also at the same time, I want to create like a community, right? Where it's not only going to be matchmaking, maybe I will start teaching how to um, create a matchmaking or like a community like of same-minded people, entrepreneurial, and for instance, what I like about matchmaking business and why one of the reasons why I chose it is mobility, right? We can help improve people's lives by sometimes working from any part of the world, right? Because now it's all digital, but it's all about the connection, right? And inspiration and energy in a way. Like, so I feel like maybe Tony Robbins in the dating space. I'm not saying that, but that would be great, you know? So,
You can absolutely do whatever you say, whatever you can
exactly.
conceive, Alina. Why not? You know,
The sky is the
you know,
limit.
the imagination is the limit. The ambition maybe also is the limit. I just want to support you about the international reach of matchmaking. Matchmaking by far has spread all. It has become a very international business, and not only Eastern Europe, like just literally everywhere. Matchmaking is not just focused anymore on America or Canada or Eastern or Europe, Western Europe, France. The clients are looking for connection. They're looking for love. Love has no boundaries.
Exactly.
You never know where you're gonna find it. It could be in Latin America, it could be in Asia, it could be in North America,
Exactly. Exactly.
Eastern Europe, Western Europe. The list goes on and on. So I just wanted to acknowledge that and encourage you to continue your. There is so much to do. There's continue your journey. There's so much to do in this area,
We
Thank
live
and
a
you.
wonderful
spreading
day
the.
and age, for sure. And what you do, you listen to your heart, you do what you love, and when we do what we love, we make best out of it. What
Yeah.
role do you think technology will play in that distant future, in Beaumonde's future?
Yeah. So technology is always important, as you know, because yes, you can create amazing connections, you can make an impact, but without keeping track, let's say if you have staff of 50 people, right? How can you? It's not possible to keep controlling what who does what. Like you have to keep track of it. You have to put faith into your employees to train them well, and to make sure give them the tools to be able to do their work their, the best, right? And one way to do it is technology. One way to do it is CRM, and let's say SmartMatch is concentrating on matchmaking. So that's definitely helps in that way. Um, and yeah, for instance, I'm also exploring the speed dating um, branch that you have.
Have you already tried SpeedMatchUp?
I have not. I just found out about it this morning, or somebody was also emailing you before. But you know, you sometimes you don't pay attention to emails because you're overwhelmed. I'm talking about like if it's promotional emails, but definitely, I now that I spoke about it with your colleague, right?
What?
So
What?
no, no, no. I spoke to Milan,
Oh,
and I mentioned, and we kind of got to the
it's natural for you. If you do speed dating events, you can do online and offline speed dating events.
right.
Offline, it could be in New York, for example, but online, Alina, you can do this with anyone, anywhere in the world. So you can do connection like that. And I think this will be interesting for your international vision, for the international matchmaking. So these
Definitely.
events, they don't have no borders. Those speed dating events will be pretty much limitless.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, yeah, that's the goal, that's the vision, and to make as many connections as I can and to make as much impact, but also do it in a way that's, is sustainable and keeping the confidentiality. So that's the goal.
Alina,
Wonderful.
thank you so much for allowing us to interview you. Please let me ask you the last question. We're being watched by other matchmakers, potentially by your potential clients. Can you share your contact details so maybe they can contact you to collaborate or to work with you as a matchmaker? Would that be possible?
Sure. So one of the best ways to find me is on Instagram. Um, and it's Miss NYC Ginger, which is MS NYC Ginger. It's because of my hair color. Like it's not super ginger, but I used to be super ginger in my childhood days. So now it's
That's a
probably,
natural color.
yeah, that's my natural color.
It's
Um,
beautiful.
Thank you. I have a great following there, and also Beaumonde Matchmaking. It's spelled Beau Monde Matchmaking. It's from French. It translates as a beautiful society. .com. So that's a website, and you can fill out the you can find my contact there, information. You can also, if it's a client, you can go and get your free profile using SmartMatch. And yeah, it's all confidential. It's all, you can start for free, and I do have clients that get their matches, both men and women, for free, because they match criteria of my paying client. And one of them is going on a date tonight. So
Congratulations.
I know
Good
I'll
luck.
be
Big
flying
night.
to Mexico and I'll be like, oh, please. I hope it goes well. I hope they have fun. Hope they have a good time.
That's right. It starts there, and then hopefully they will have an amazing relationship. Thank you so much, Alina, for sharing your story, for sharing your very generously sharing your nuances of how you match and success stories today. I wish you all the best in this industry. It's a wonderful industry. Enjoy your trip to Matchmakers Alliance conference in Mexico.
Tell
Thank
Say
everybody
hi
we
to
say
everyone.
hello. You're a wonderful
Absolutely.
person.
Thank you. Likewise, guys, it's so nice to talk to people who care about their business and have this personal touch with a client and great great connections, and that's what helps the world. I feel like that's what helps the world is the genuine, authentic connections, and guys like you who are building platforms for to help us. So thanks to you, to Milan, and one other guy, the marketing guy, Peter, I think, if I'm
Peter.
Peter.
not
Uh-huh.
Peter.
Peter. Yeah.
They would love to hear that. Oh, both of them would love to
Yes.
hear that.
And
That you
I'm
said
sure I'll
hi to.
meet more staff that you have if you, so yeah, along the way.
Uh,
Great.
God
Thank you.
bless you
Thank you
then.
Thank
for your
you.
kind
Thank
words.
you, Alina.
God bless you.
Enjoyed the conference. Thanks for joining us. Thanks, everybody, for watching us. Alina, let's stay for one more minute after we
Sure.
finish. And everybody, have a wonderful day.
Thank you. Bye.
And